Alright, this is crockett36, and we are at UPS, and it is noisy as all get out, but we're going to try to do this. So, this is Crockett and Shultzie's house rule game. Put my hand over my mouth, the microphone. So, Crockett and Shultzie's house rule game, and we've made some adjustments. The 110 fleet went to 111, got defeated there. The 111 fleet in pre-game went to 109. So in pre-game, 110 went to 111, got defeated. In pre-game, 111 went to 109, and still there. We were able to survive against the subs, but the subs were victorious here. And I believe there's 2 subs. We'll do that real quick. In addition to that, we have put a smattering of units onto the board. Numerically, the number 1 unit we put on board is air bases. We just wanted to put a lot of air bases on. Makes sense, right? So Germany now has an air base. Northern Italy has an air base. Nova Scotia has an air base. Gibraltar has an air base. That was in, by the way, first edition of the game of G40. And then Egypt gets an air base. So players here could scramble. In addition to that, we built an Africa Corps. Now, Shultzie did make a mistake, I think. He actually ended up taking the originally placed destroyer and transport from 95, grabbed the troops out of Tunisia, which I gave him and pre-game, and then grabbed them out of Tunisia and took them to Yugoslav. I don't think that makes sense. We're going to do Africa Corps. The transport is there in order to bring more units into Africa, not remove them for the European theater. So I have urged him, and I think he will agree. I have been able to reach him to move those troops to Libya. Now the point is that this is G40. Each turn is about 6 months. We say. So by this is late. This is fall of 40 because the fall of France was in May. So we don't count that as the spring. We count that as the fall of 1940. So fall of 1940, the troops move into Libya. Spring of 1941, they'll be in Tobruk. Fall of 1940. They would be in Alexandria, and that's when really stuff happened with Alamein, and then transports that could actually bring more units down to put more pressure on Egypt, which is why we're doing the Africa Corps. We also added a sub to 98. We added an artillery to Szechwan. We added a destroyer to Caroline. That was his idea, not mine. I wouldn't have done it. We did add 4 mechs. Replacing 6 infantry with 4 mechs. Now, he also gave an additional troop in Yenisei, Tunguska, Novosibirsk, and Samara. So that's an addition of that's $12. Normally speaking, that would be $18. So let's get that back up. That's 12, 15, and 18. So he does add an actual 2 units, $6 per value. I like to do the math. So the math in this case would be that the Allies have received, if there's 15, plus the 20 for the American battleship, that's 35, that's 50 at the Gibraltar Air Base, that's 65, that's 6 more, that's 71, and 71 and 6. $77 I'm seeing that's been added to the Allies, and then the Axis have received the Africa Corps was taken from Europe, so that's not an addition, but they did receive an airbase here, 1 and 2 air bases. That's $30 plus the transport and destroyer, 30. That's 45. 45 units that I'm seeing right now. Oh, and the Italians have received 1 infantry in Libya, as well as 1 infantry, 1 artillery in northern Italy. So that would be, 45 plus 6. Oh, plus 10. So 45, 55. right there. Destroyer would be 58 in Caroline. I'm seeing $58 additionally. And then capital capture rule was that you have to surround the capital if you want all the money. And he was able to surround it by taking Normandy, Bordeaux, and southern France first, and then trapping the money in Paris and taking it last. There's a bit of an elegance to that. Really like that a lot. Capital capture by itself, I think, balances the game. The rest of this is what we call fixing and flavoring. Fixing and flavoring. So $77 for the Allies. And I think it was, what did I say? 35, 55, $63 maybe for the, oh no, 63 plus, yeah, $63 somewhere in there for the, so fairly even distribution, and we have the benefit of having an English Navy survive the opening rounds in 1940. Of course, that would have been ludicrous not to see an English Navy. And the subboats are dangerous, yes, for sure. We have an Africa Corps. We have a Russia that is able to get defense back to Moscow, which happened in the Battle of Moscow. 8 units will be able to make it back for the Battle of Moscow if he chooses to do the Moscow Crush. The Chinese get just a little bit of strengthening. The Japanese get a little bit of strengthening. We give them something because of, every America received a battleship. They received one for one. They received a destroyer. So battleships for America, destroyer for Japan. And then Japan was further hurt by an artillery in Cheshire. Okay, so I think theater-wise, that's cool to me. It jazzes me. Lots of good stuff here. And let's see what happens with the Russians. I'm just going to check my phone real quick to see if Shultzie agreed to everything. I was also throwing out there the idea of transports being with one in defense, and then they must be taken last as casualties, but they are casualties. So I like that idea. We have PT boats, we had escort destroyers that were smaller than destroyers, we had other small warships, seaplanes that wouldn't go. So anyways, we had a bunch of resources as the Allies that did actually inflict casualties. So let's see what the Russians do. So we are, tech, by the way, is $5, and tech is a roll of 6. So I am going to buy it. I just bypassed it. Okay. Guess we won't do it this turn. Shucks. And I really should save this under save games, and I'm going to update my house rules setup. Dang, I did not do that today. I didn't do house rule setup. I did house rule Russia T1 beginning. No, I'm going to do house rule end of Germany. Germany first, T1. Okay, so here we go. I should have bought $5. Okay, so I'm going to leave up $5. And we are going to place some artillery up front in 6 forward factories. Is that correct? He built mech, so, and I'm intending to do something else. Actually, I'm going to build 6 men up front. No, 3 men, 3 mechs up front, and the rest will be infantry. That gives us not the 12 normally, that gives us 11. $1 left over. When we declare war, there's no harm to declaring war. There's no action that takes place. We do not forfeit Mongolian rule just because we declare war, even if we don't move in there. Okay, and I'm moving all of these troops. I've got an interesting plan. Okay, I am actually going to stop them before I get too far into this.